Are you feeling short on time as a PTO leader and you're looking for some tips on how to manage your time better? Perhaps you weren't even looking for this information, but I am certainly serving it up to you today is what we're going to be talking about. Going to be giving you some genius. I think they're genius because they totally work. Time management tips. So let's dive in. The very first tip for keeping your sanity as a PTO leader and just making better use of your time overall is to schedule out your week. And I want you to look at what you need to do. Make a list of what you need to do, but then the next step is to figure out exactly when you're going to do it. So if you are feeling like everything is orchestrated minute by minute and you just don't have time, but there's stuff you absolutely positively must do, then girl, you're totally going to have to just shoehorn it in somewhere. So look at your schedule, see what you can shave off, see what you can push off to the next week, see what you can just skip over entirely, like dusting the living room. It does not matter this week if you are super busy, let me just tell you, so that you can fit in what you actually need to get done, what stuff that is actually going to matter. Yes, it might hurt your little heart that the living room stays undusted for the week, but that you just can't do everything. I'm sorry. Wonder Woman can't be Wonder Woman all the time. So really look at your week. I find that it is a lot less overwhelming for me when I have a very daunting to-do list or have a lot of things going on, when I actually take the time to look at my schedule on a day-by-day, hour-by-hour basis and really imagine my day. I close my eyes and I think, okay, well, I have to eat and I have to do certain things, I have certain appointments. And so you only have so much time between the time that you're dropping the kids off at school and the time that they're coming. Either you're picking them up or they're coming home on the bus, whatever. So look at your available time, and slotting things in can really make a huge difference. And that's really connected. My first tip is really connected to the second tip, and that's to carve out specific PTO time. When things get especially busy for you, then it might make sense to carve out specific PTO time so that you have a dedicated hour or so to get stuff done. When you are kind of making a list of everything you need to do and that you can just have that spend concentrated time getting it done instead of flitting from task to task to task, home task, business task, work task, and PTO task. When your attention is really focused and concentrated, then it's easier to get more done in less time. The next tip that I have for just manage your time better is to delegate. So remember that undusted living room that I was talking about? And I know you're thinking, yeah, Christina, I do not care about dusting my living room. Or maybe you're thinking, oh my God, yes, I need to have that dusted on a weekly basis. I hate walking by and just seeing all the dust and the grime. That is a task that you can delegate probably to one of your children. Now, they might not do as good of a job as you would do. Perhaps they're going to just skate that dust cloth right around objects instead of picking them up, but it'll be better having a kind of a half-ass job than if you were to have your whole butt do it, right? So it can get done. It's kind of like the minimum viable cleaning job when you ask the kids to do it, right? But it still gets mostly done, and that you can go back later and fix it when you have time, or when the new week comes around that you can go in and have it done. So look at what you can delegate both in your home to your kids, because they need to step up when things get busy and mom is losing her mind. You can say, hey, I know I seem especially crazy. Here's how you can help. Those words have come out of my mouth because there were some times that my kid, especially last year, my younger son, could tell I was totally stressed. And I was like, I have so much going on. I need you to help me out with XYZ. And he was like, sure, no problem. He did it without complaint. And I felt better because I had some support, and it's teaching him some valuable life skills at the same time, right? So it's all kind of goodness all wrapped up into one. We got parenting skills. We got teaching him time management skills. We got him teaching him that it's good to ask for help, that you can be vulnerable as an adult, and you feel better as the adult getting that off your plate and have someone help you. So look at what you can, like I said, at home, look at which maybe you can delegate at work, and especially with PTO, if you are struggling, other people will step up to help you out to make sure that whatever needs to get done gets done. And if they won't, then it just doesn't need to get done, perhaps. So, it doesn't always, just because it needs to get done doesn't mean that it's you that needs to be doing it. And you can only do so much. So you don't want to be packing your schedule with so much that it becomes overwhelming and that you just shut down. Because that is a really horrible feeling. So again, I keep tying all my tips together. So my last tip is actually just to say no. No is not a dirty word. You should be saying it. If you're not saying it, then you totally need to start saying no, because if you are always saying yes, I find that people just keep adding more and more and more elaborate requests, involved requests. And so you can say no, or you can say not now, or that's a great idea. Would you like to help? Would you like to make that happen? You can always push it back on them. And I know I've told this story before, but I'll repeat it again here because in case you haven't watched that earlier video. So there was a time when it was the beginning of the school year, and I think it was my second year as PTO president. So I think I was a second grade parent because I came in as a first grade parent, a first-time first grade parent. So my oldest was in first grade. So meaning I knew nothing about PTO, right? Knew nothing. There was a need. I've always stepped up into leadership positions. I don't know what is wrong with me. I like big challenges. So anyways, I was a new president. It was back to school time, which is crazy, especially for elementary school, especially when you have young babies in school. And this mom came up to me, and I think we were having the Blacktop Bash, and that is just where we picked the first Friday of the school year. The PTO provided pizza and water, and we asked people to bring either a dessert, some juice boxes, some drinks, or a side dish, something like that. And so it was just a very casual gathering on the blacktop. So I was at a table, the membership table, I was checking in people, or I forget what table I was at, but I was at a table, and this mom came up to me and just had this litany of requests and all the things that she thought the PTO could do. And I said no without saying no. I said, that sounds great. The next PTO meeting is actually Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the media center. So I hope to see you there, and we can talk about how to make some of your ideas happen. So couple different points there. One, say no. Two, you can say no without actually saying no. So you can push them off. You can invite them to be involved and kind of push it back on them like I did with her. She did not show up to that meeting. She was all in no action, like so many of our lovely parents that we have to deal with, right? So anyway, I hope this is helpful for you to understand that you can really take charge of your life as a PTO leader, and you don't have to feel totally stressed out all the time. And that when you start scheduling out your week, carving out specific PTO time, delegating and saying no, you are going to feel more in control of your time, because you are going to be in control of your time, and that you can manage your entire life more easily. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and that you will join me for the next one. Want even more guidance on how to be a stronger leader so you can run a better PTO or PTA? All of these resources and more are waiting for you at ptoanswers.com.